Doc, and I'm going to show you how to set up your paper for MLA format. We did this together in class on October the 4th, but if you were not here or if you just need a refresher, then this video is for you. So if you remember, we had a mnemonic device that we learned. My fish said he hates turtle toes, right? Kind of crazy sentence. And we learned that because each letter of that sentence, each word in that sentence, the first letter helps us remember what we're supposed to do to get our paper set up for MLA format. So if you remember that about the fish on our, if I can find it, I was going to pull it up on the PowerPoint again and show it to you guys, but it's taking forever for me to find it. There it is. Okay, so if you remember, my fish said he hates turtle toes. They each stand for margins, font, spacing, heading, header, title, and then you can start typing. So we're going to go through these steps together so that you can have your paper set up correctly and you will not lose any points for MLA formatting once you submit your final paper. So the first thing we have to do is for it stands for margins. So we have to go to our page layout up here at the top. And this is the same if you're using a Microsoft Office doc, which is what I'm showing you on today. Or if you want to use a Google Doc, it looks the same. So you should find the same things in the same places. If I go to page layout and I go to margins, it's going to give me different options on how many inches I want around the side of my paper. And this is like the top, the sides, and the bottom. It's all the way around. And MLA tells us that we have to have 1 inch. Now, this is normal. It's usually set to 1 inch, but sometimes it's not, especially like, let's say you're using your parents' laptop or you're using a computer at the library. Somebody might have been doing something different on it and they mess up the margins. So you always want to just go to the margins first and double check and make sure that there is a 1 inch margin all the way around that paper. And that's my fish is our next word, my fish. The F stands for font. MLA tells us that we have to have Times New Roman as our font. So if you click on this down arrow, you're going to see Times New Roman as an option, and then you're going to need to go to number 12. And I'm going to have to pause the video because I'm getting a phone call. If I can pause it. Okay, sorry, I am back. I had a phone call. It happens. Sometimes those things happen. So we were on font, right? And so we're going to do Times New Roman and 12. That's what the F stands for font. Our next piece of our mnemonic device is said. Remember, my fish said. So the S for said actually stands for spacing. If you go to this little icon here, it looks like 2 arrows going in 2 different directions, and that's your line and your spacing, and you want to set that for double. So go to 2, and that's said. He is our header. So we have to have a header. We have to have our last name and our page number in the top right corner. That's what MLA says we have to do. So we have to insert. You go to the insert, and then you're going to see header. Okay. And you can click on the header, and you're going to type in page number, and we want to put that at the top of the page over here in the top right corner. Okay. So we're going to go to header and then page number, and it's going to give you options, and you're going to go with plain number 3. That's going to put it over here in this top right corner. And it's going to automatically put your cursor right before the number. This is setting it up so it will number all your pages automatically. A lot of times when kids don't know how to set up their papers in MLA, they'll go at the top of every page and they'll type the page number in, but the margins are off. It looks like a big giant mess, and you can tell when a student has typed the number themselves and when they've actually set up the header. So you want to set it up, and then you want to write your last name and hit the space bar 1 time. And now you don't have to worry anymore about your header the rest of the paper. It's going to be in that top right corner the rest of the time. And if you double click anywhere here below the header, just real quick with your mouse twice, it's going to take you out of the header and you're back to home. Okay? So my fish said he, header. The next word is hates. Remember, he hates the turtle toes. So the next H stands for your heading. So where your cursor automatically is now after you click out of the header, that's the line you're going to start typing on. And MLA says you have to type your first and last name. Hit the enter button, type your professor's name, type the class that you are currently in, and then you're going to type the date. I'm just going to use today's date. And MLA says you have to spell out the month. So you can't write 10-4, you can't write OCT-4. You have to actually write the entire month out. Okay, October 4th, 2022. That is our heading. So we've done our header and we've done our heading. Next is T for turtle, and that's our title. You're going to want to come up with any kind of creative title you can and type it in on the next line after you do your heading. Okay, so this is just me typing in MLA is awesome. Remember that you want your title to be something creative, something that's catchy. Your title should not be my paper for English, my paper for English class, my paper about why smoking should be banned. Or even if smoking being banned is your topic, you don't want your title to be smoking should be banned. Try and think of something maybe that you learned during your research that's interesting, and you can title your paper that. Now the title has to be centered in the middle of the paper. So you see where my cursor's blinking here? I'm just going to go up to the center button, which is the second box, and it's going to automatically put it in the center. I'm going to hit enter on my keyboard, and it's going to take me back to the next line, but I need to go back to the right now. I'm sorry, the left. It needs to be left aligned. And now for the last T, toes, that just means typing. Start typing. That's it, okay? It can also stand for tab, because you do have to tab before you start typing. So I usually tell students it's for tab and typing. That's the last T, okay? So if you hit the tab button on your keyboard one time, it's going to bring your cursor in about 5 spaces, and then you can start typing your paper. This would be your introduction. Remember, if we're doing a 5-paragraph essay, your intro comes first. And you can see that as I'm typing, it has indented it because I hit the tab button, and it's also double spacing it because I set my paper up that way. And this is what an MLA paper should look like. Anytime you go to your next paragraph, let's hit enter, and you're going to hit that tab button again, and then you're going to start typing. Okay, so each paragraph is indented when you are typing in MLA. All right, and then we will learn how to do the works cited in MLA next, but this should get you started for now and answer any